Ever wonder what really happens to your donation, that dollar, that 5, that 20 you just sent off into the digital ether? After you click confirm, after that little burst of satisfaction, what's next? Does it magically appear where it's needed most? You see a moving ad, maybe a child in need, a community struggling, an animal suffering. It tugs at your heartstrings, you feel compelled, and you give. Then you get a thank you email, maybe even a handwritten note, and you move on, assuming your money is making a difference, a tangible impact. You feel good, you've done your part. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The question that lingers in the back of our minds, but we often avoid asking. The path from your wallet to someone in need is rarely straightforward. It's not a simple A to B transaction. Instead of a direct line, your donation often zigzags through layers of, well, things you might not expect. Admin costs, marketing campaigns designed to attract more donors, and yes, salaries for the people running the organization. These are all necessary to some extent, but they also eat into your donation. We're conditioned not to ask. It feels impolite, almost accusatory. We don't want to seem cynical or ungrateful, but shouldn't we know how much of your donation actually helps the intended recipients? What percentage makes it to the ground, to the people who need it most? Unlike buying a coffee, where you see exactly what you get, a cup of hot, caffeinated goodness in your hand, charity is buying an idea, a promise, a hope for someone you'll likely never meet. It's an act of faith. The packaging and sales pitch, the emotional appeal, can sometimes matter more than the actual measurable impact on the ground. This creates incentives for charities to focus on appearances, on creating a compelling narrative, rather than prioritizing demonstrable results. The best storytellers, not necessarily the most effective organizations, the ones with the most efficient programs, often get the most donations. We respond to emotional appeals, to heart-wrenching stories, not to dry efficiency reports or complex data analysis. So let's set aside the warm fuzzies, the good feelings we get from donating, just for a moment, and ask the tough question, the one we've been avoiding. Where does your money really go after the thank you note, after the feel-good moment? It's time to look behind the curtain to examine the inner workings of the charity world. When we think of charity, images of local bake sales, dedicated volunteers, and community fundraising events often come to mind. These grassroots efforts are certainly a vital part of the charitable landscape, representing the heart and soul of giving back. But charity is far more than just these small-scale acts of kindness. It's a massive, complex industry operating on a global scale. In the US alone, nonprofits pump over $1 trillion into the economy every year, a staggering figure that highlights the sheer economic power of the charitable sector. This financial contribution is so significant that it actually outpacing entire industries like construction, demonstrating the immense impact nonprofits have on the nation's economic activity. Globally, hundreds of billions move through the sector annually, flowing across borders and supporting initiatives around the world. This international flow of funds underscores the global reach and influence of charitable organizations. This scale means charities need infrastructure, robust systems, and efficient processes to manage their operations effectively. They require dedicated staff, skilled professionals, and relentless fundraising efforts to sustain their programs and achieve their missions. Professional fundraisers, consultants specializing in nonprofit management, and savvy marketers are all essential parts of this complex machine, working to ensure the financial health and public visibility of charitable organizations. They are all part of the machine, the engine that drives the charitable sector forward. Top charity executives can earn salaries, reflecting the significant responsibilities and expertise required to lead these large and influential organizations. In some cases, these salaries rival those of corporate CEOs, highlighting the professionalization and competitive nature of the nonprofit world. In 2023, Americans donated over $500 billion, a testament to the generosity and philanthropic spirit of the nation. This staggering sum is more than the GDP of many countries, underscoring the immense economic power and global impact of charitable giving. With so much money at stake and so many lives impacted by the work of charities, the line between mission and money-making can sometimes blur, creating ethical dilemmas and challenges for organizations navigating the complexities of the sector. Yet, charities often face far less scrutiny than corporations or governments, operating with a level of trust that is not always matched by rigorous oversight. We tend to assume they're the good guys, driven by altruism and noble intentions, and rarely question their practices or financial dealings. But with this much wealth and influence concentrated in the hands of charitable organizations, shouldn't we demand a higher level of transparency and accountability to ensure that donations are used effectively and ethically? When things go wrong, when funds are mismanaged or diverted, it's not just money lost to mismanagement or fraud, it's the lives of those who depend on these services that are directly impacted, the vulnerable populations who rely on the support and resources that charities provide. The stakes couldn't be higher, demanding a critical examination of the charitable sector and a commitment to ensuring its integrity and effectiveness. How do charities get your attention, and more importantly, your money? In a world saturated with information and constant appeals for support, standing out from the crowd is a challenge, the same way any business does, through strategic marketing. Nonprofits are no exception. Those emotionally charged ads you see aren't accidental. They're carefully crafted by marketing professionals. These experts understand the nuances of human psychology and how to connect with potential donors on a deeper level. They know exactly how to tug at your heartstrings, using compelling stories and powerful imagery to evoke empathy and a desire to help. It's a calculated approach designed to inspire action. Direct mail campaigns flood your mailbox, often filled with glossy brochures and personalized appeals. These campaigns use psychological tricks like including small gifts or personalized address labels to nudge you into giving. It's a subtle but effective way to increase response rates. Donor lists are bought and sold between organizations, creating a network of potential targets. Your past generosity can inadvertently turn you into a perpetual marketing target as charities compete for your attention and donations. Glitzy fundraising galas, while seemingly glamorous, can often cost as much as they raise, sometimes even more. A significant portion of your donation may end up funding the party itself, rather than directly supporting the cause you intended to help. The overhead can be surprisingly high. Perhaps the most controversial tactic employed by some charities? The use of for-profit fundraising companies. These companies can take a shockingly large percentage, sometimes 80% or even more, of every dollar you give as commission and fees. This leaves only a small fraction, mere scraps, to actually benefit the intended charity and its programs. You might think you're contributing to saving the rainforest or supporting a vital social program, but in reality, the majority of your money is going towards paying a telemarketer's commission or covering administrative costs. In many cases, the business of charity is more focused on appearances and performance metrics than on achieving tangible impact. The unfortunate result is a system where raising money sometimes takes precedence over effectively spending it to address the underlying issues. So, the next time you encounter a slick and persuasive marketing campaign from a charity, take a moment to ask yourself, who is really benefiting from my donation? Is it the cause, or are there other parties involved who are profiting significantly? Your emotions are valuable and can be a powerful force for good, but so is your hard-earned money. Don't let either be exploited by deceptive marketing tactics. Make informed decisions and ensure your generosity truly makes a difference. Let's talk about overhead, the money spent on everything except the core mission. This includes salaries, office rent, marketing, and fundraising costs. Many big-name charities spend 25–35% of donations just keeping the lights on. Some spend even more, with overhead swallowing half or more of every dollar. High executive salaries are common, sometimes topping $1 million a year. The obsession with low overhead can backfire, starving charities of resources they need to be effective. The real question, are they transparent, and does your money actually make a difference? Real-world examples show how good intentions can go awry. After the 2010 Haiti earthquake, the Red Cross raised nearly $500 million, but built just 6 permanent homes. Much of the money vanished into administrative costs and vague program expenses. Cancer charities like the American Cancer Society face criticism for spending more on fundraising and salaries than on research or aid. Even organizations like Goodwill, which sell donated goods to fund job programs, have been called out for paying disabled workers below minimum wage, while executives earn 6 figures. The gap between public perception and reality can be huge. Your donation might support practices you'd never knowingly endorse. It's a reminder. Always look beyond the brand. Ask tough questions before you give. Sometimes your donation isn't spent at all, it's invested. Big charities and university endowments often stash billions in stocks, spending only a small fraction each year. Harvard's $50 billion endowment, for example, grows while tuition rises and fundraising continues. The Gates Foundation manages a $70 billion portfolio, giving away billions but prioritizing long-term survival. This approach ensures stability, but raises ethical questions. Should money sit in the bank while urgent needs go unmet? For crisis charities, the tension between saving for tomorrow and helping today is real. Too often, organizational survival wins out over immediate impact. Donors deserve to know, is their gift solving problems now or just padding an investment account? Meet the corporate nonprofit hybrid, charities that talk about impact but act like startups. Their focus shifts from solving problems to growing bigger, richer, and more powerful. They use business buzzwords, chase market share, and treat donors like investors. Programs become products, and beneficiaries become clients. Growth is rewarded, even if it doesn't mean better results. Small, effective groups get overshadowed by big organizations with slick marketing. In the nonprofit world, the people being helped have no say, and donors are often in the dark. This broken feedback loop lets ineffective or even harmful charities thrive. The lesson? Size and polish don't guarantee impact. Look for real results, not just a shiny brand. Charity scandals destroy trust, and they're more common than you think. From fabricated stories and self-enrichment to outright fraud, the sector has seen it all. The Central Asia Institute raised millions for schools that never materialized. United Way's leader once stole hundreds of thousands for personal luxuries. The Cancer Fund of America scammed donors out of $187 million, with almost nothing going to patients. Even well-meaning groups can waste resources through mismanagement and chaos. When trust is broken, everyone loses, especially those who need help most. Don't give up on charity, just get smarter about it. With 5 minutes of research, you can make your donation count. Start with charity watchdogs like Charity Navigator, GiveWell, or Charity Watch. They rate organizations on transparency, efficiency, and impact. Check the charity's own website for annual reports and IRS. Form 990S if they're hard to find, that's a red flag. Look beyond overhead. Does the charity prove its programs work? Demand real data, not just heartwarming stories. Be wary of vague claims like raising awareness. Look for concrete results: meals served, children vaccinated, families housed. Reward effectiveness and transparency. Walk away from anyone who can't provide them. Your generosity is too valuable